Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. We are from Group 2 want to present our topic which is flat roof construction. But first of all, let me introduce our group members. First is Abdul Muiz bin Jahani as a group leader. ID number is 20204-72728. Second is Nur Shamirah binti Rozman. ID number is 20204-22068. Third is Nur Iman Najiha binti Sahjihan. ID number is 20208-21506. Fourth is Nur Najwa binti Jami'an. ID number is 20208-95064. Fifth is Nur Patricia Safiah binti Muhammad Nazri. ID number is 20208-17698. Sixth is Muhammad Hazmi bin Hamzah. ID number is 20204-73194. Seventh is Muhammad Alif Putra bin Aftab Alam. ID number is 20204-98342. What is flat roof? A flat roof is a roof which is almost level in contrast to the many types of loop roofs. Flat roofs are an ancient form mostly used in arid climates and allow the roof space to be used as a living space. Next, it is the cheapest to build in Italy but will cost you much more than other roof types in maintenance costs. They have a minimum inclinations, generally between 2 to 3%, sufficient only to guarantee the flow of water down to the drains. This type of roof surfaces can be workable by increasing the usable area of the building or not workable when only accessible to maintenance staff. Weatherproofing the flat roof. The flat roof rely on membrane for keeping moisture out. In dry climates, this is done with clay tiles, but in Canada asphalt or rubber is necessary. And it also never actually flat. A subtle slope directs standing moisture to drains at edge or inside. Benefits and uses. A flat roof is the most cost-efficient roof shape as all room space can be used fully below and above the roof. Having a smaller surface area, flat roofs require less materials and are usually stronger than pitch roof. This style roof also provides ample space for solar panel or outdoor recreational use such as roof gardens. Applying a top waterproofing membranes form the ideal substrate for green roof planting schemes. Where gable roofs are uncommon or space is limited, flat roofs may be used as living space with shelter kitchens, bedroom, living and sleeping areas. In third world countries, such rooftops are commonly used as areas to dry laundry, for storage and even as a place to raise livestock.
So here are the 5 advantages of flat roof. The first, the roof can be used as terrace for playing or sleeping or even other domestic purpose. Second, flat roof construction and maintenance is very simple. The third one is provide the better architectural experience to the building. 5, it is easier to make the flat roof fire resistant. And lastly, it is also possess good insulting properties. So here are the disadvantages of using flat roof. First, a flat roof cannot be used for a long span without using columns and beams. Second, in the area of heavy rainfall, the flat roof are not even suitable for them. The third one, indication cost is more than others. Fourth, due to the greater variations in the temperature, sometimes crack develop of the surface of the roof, which is difficult for you to repair that. And lastly, if the proper slope is not provided of the roof to drain off the rainwater, pockets of water are formed in the surface of the roof, which lead to the leakage of the roof.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Hazmi bin Hamzah from class AP115 2A from group 2 want to talk about timber flat roof. Definition. Timber flat roof construction usually consists of structural joists topped with a decking of plywood or a similar sheet material. Wherever possible, joists should span the shortest distance of the roof plane. The pitch is governed by the roof covering and the required rate of rainwater discharge.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Muhammad Ali Putra bin Afta Alam. My metric number is 2020498-342. I'm going to cover for the advantages and disadvantages part. Let's take a look for the advantages first. So, what are the advantages for timber flat roof? So here comes the first one, which is price. It is because flat roof material often comes in large rolls and residential roofing materials such as asphalt shingles come in small sheets. It takes less time to install a flat roof system. As you can see here is the example of the stated material. The same applies to repair a flat roof system. Patches are available for the various flat roof system, so it takes less time to repair. If an asphalt shingle needs to be repaired, for example, if a tree branch punctured it, often the surrounding shingles need to be repaired as well. You see, asphalt shingles are layered. Half of the one shingle is underneath half of the one above it, so there's always at least 2 layers of asphalt shingles at any point on your roof. Under every roof system is the roof deck. Because there's less lumber in a flat roof than in a sloped roof, it costs less to build. The second one is space. What happens when you put anything on a hill? It wants to roll down the hill, doesn't it? Because a flat roof is almost flat, equipment such as air conditioning units can be installed on them. With a flat roof, you have the option of having a rooftop deck or patio. When designing your flat roof with your general contractor or structural engineer, be sure to mention you want a rooftop deck because some changes will need to be made, but at least you have the option. The third one is low profile. Flat roofs offer a lower profile. For example, maybe you don't want to block the view of the mountains, or maybe you want to stay below overhead utility lines. The fourth one is safer. It's much safer and easier to walk on flat roof since they are basically flat. Because sloped roofs are often at least 3/12 or 40 degrees, there's a greater risk of slipping and falling. All done with advantages. As we all knew, everything has pros and cons, including timber flat roof. So what are the cons, which are disadvantages? The first one is appearance. This is a matter of opinion, but some think flat roofs are less stylish. In the mid-90s, flat roofs were popular. Today, although they are less popular than sloped roofs, they are seeing a comeback. Can I call it a comeback? The second one is stability. Flat roofs have a tendency to be less stable, especially large flat roofs. The larger the flat roof, the less stable it is. To compensate, additional structural stability must be built in to the other areas of the building. The third one is drainage. Flat roofs do not drain as well as sloped roofs. The greater the slope, the faster water runs down it. Water tends to pool on flat roofs. Pooling water tends to break down on the roofing material. Also, extra precautions need to be taken to ensure seals are made around pipes and flashing. The fourth one is less space inside. A sloped roof gives the homeowner the option of an attic. With a flat roof, there is no attic option because that space simply doesn't exist. The last but not the least, less insulation. Again, because there's no sloped roof and therefore no attic, there's less insulation space. Insulation is basically empty space between the undesirable, which is the outside space, and the desirable space, which is the inside one. With a sloped roof, the insulation is your attic. With a flat roof, there is significantly less insulation. As a result, your home or building might be affected by extreme fluctuating temperatures. That's all for the disadvantages. Thank you.
Thank you, Alif. For curled roof, the insulation is placed in the ceiling layer between the beams. For the example, you can look to the picture that we present. And then, for warm roof, the insulation is placed under a waterproof cover above the roof cover. That's all from me. Thank you.
So next, we move to concrete flat roof.
Concrete flat roof. A concrete flat roof is normally made up of a structural layer of concrete, finished with a smooth screed onto which a waterproof layer, such as a membrane, is laid. The roof should incorporate insulations and usually a vapor control layer to protect from interstitial condensations. Concrete roof structures are very durable and efficient. They can serve a multi-purpose function of being a roof, a relaxation area, a parking lot, or a landing base for a helicopter. Now, types of concrete flat roof. For the first one is warm roof. The screed deck is kept warm through placing the insulation above it. The waterproof covering is above the insulations and the vapor control layer is placed below the insulations. The second one is invert warm roof. In an invert warm roof, the insulation is placed above a combined VCL or waterproofing membrane. The insulation effectively protects the roof membrane from thermal stress, UV light, and mechanical damage. The insulation is preventing from lifting by adding ballast.
So next is the cool roof. The insulation is placed below the roof deck. Any moist air penetration the roof is dispersed through ventilation between the insulation and the underside of the deck. So here are the example of cool roof with fill roof covering. Here are the components of the concrete roof. First is a vapor control layer. It's in one roof construction, the VCL should always be located on the warm side of the insulation. The material specified should be a metal foil laminate, polyethylene, or reinforced bitumen sheet. All penetration of the VCL should be sealed and the membrane turned up to all vertical surface by the thickness of the insulation. Next is insulation. The correct choice of insulation is important when adhering of waterproofing, practically where solvent-based devices are used. Next are roof membrane or covering. Single-ply membrane, EPDM or TPO membrane can be either loosely laid or fixed directly to the deck. This membrane can be quickly installed and are easy to repair. They can also be reused, but only if they have not been mechanically fixed. Next is ballast. Ballast is usually required in the construction of inverted warm roof to prevent the insulation board from being lifted by high wind or floating as water drained from the roof. It is normally consisted of grade pebble or concrete paving slab. And lastly, we have filter membrane. Even though it's not vital, a filter membrane can be used in the build-up or an inverted warm roof. It is located between the insulation and the ballast. It can prevent grit being washed down to the waterproof layer where it may damage the membrane or block outlets.
The advantages and disadvantages of a flat concrete roof. For the advantages is, it is a good long-term investment. People build their dream houses because they want to enjoy that property for as long as possible. A concrete roofing can stay intact and sturdy for more than 50 years. Some properties built with concrete even last for up to a century. Tried and test durability. Concrete material is proven to be tough and durable. As a matter of fact, it is not only used for roof construction. There are many other different forms of usage, but They all boil down to its strength and stability. You all can see concrete in buildings walls, residential flooring, even in large-scale projects like bridges and dams. Among others, many industries rely on concrete for their constructions needs because of its strike and tested durability. For the last advantage is hassle-free maintenance. Concrete roofs are generally low maintenance, meaning they are easy to clean and are not too difficult to access. Like any other roofing, debris and dirt can pile up over time. However, roofers can easily remove these from the surface without damaging the roof itself. The disadvantages of a flat concrete roof. First is leakage problems. Concrete isn't waterproof. While it can protect the property from storms, snow, hail, and other natural phenomena, it has the tendency to absorb water. The last one is plant growth. It is a common issue among surfaces that retain moisture. Since concrete cannot repel water, there's a tendency for water to stick around, especially if you don't notice it. When there's a water, plants like fungi, molds, and mildew can easily proliferate.
Hi, my name is Nuna Joy binti Jamian. My ID number is 2020 89 50 64, and my friend Nur Batusha Safia binti Muhammad Azri, her ID number is 2020 81 76 94, will present about steel flat roof.
The definition of steel is a metal consists of iron and varying amounts of carbon.
These are the advantages of steel flat roof. First, it is easy to clean because it doesn't involve much material. Second, it is very durable because steel structures can stand external pressures such as earthquakes, thunderstorms, and cyclones. Third, it is fire resistant. Some of steels are designed to be fire resistant up to 700 Celsius. Fourth, it can be easily fabricated and produced massively. Steel sections can be produced off-site at shop floors and then assembled on-site. This saves time and increases the efficiency of the overall construction process. And then steel has good tensile strength. It means that it has a high strength. Last but not least, structural steel is very flexible because steel can be molded into any shape without changing its properties.
Next is the disadvantages of steel flat roof. First is drainage problem. It is because there is no slope for snow or water to slide down, so the drain may be clogged. Steel flat roof also require a high maintenance cost. It is also easily affected by extreme temperature weather, which will cause its shapes to change. And last but not least, steel flat roof can corrode. This problem can be solved by using corrosion-resistant application.
This is diagram with fully labeled of steel flat roof.
The next topic is insulation system. This topic will be presented by me, Nurbatisha Safia, and Nur Najwa.
Insulation system. Insulation system can be installed either above the roof deck or below the roof deck. And then material, we have three materials in insulation system. First, we have glass fiber wool, and then low density PVC board. Last but not least, lightweight cement-screed. As I mentioned before, these are the materials used: glass fiber wool, low density PVC board, and lightweight cement-screed.
For roof design usually leave a 50 mm gap between the insulation and the roof deck. This allows air to circulate, however, it also allows cool air to enter. Next is warm roof. It is designed to keep the entire roof warm. It is because the insulation is laid over the top of roof deck, on top of vapor control layer, and underneath the roof covering.